Okay. So, students, let me first of all, I know there might be some internet issues. It's not at my end. What you can do, probably if you are unable to hear, you can rejoin the meeting. I'm sure that way the issue will be solved. Okay, great, great. So, I've just come here to, meet you all and take a lecture with you. That is, see, let me introduce myself to you all first. That my name is, Dr. Sumay, as you have been already told, maybe. Yes, yeah, Tanvi, you raise your hand. So, guys, no cameras on. You don't keep cameras on during lectures. Anyway, let me just give my brief introduction. See, guys, I've been teaching for the past, 13 years, and for all the high-level exams, that is NEET, AIMS. Many of my students are passed out from AIMS, so they're AIMS passed out doctors. The alumni of AIMS, and many of my students are now surgeons and the specialists, you call it like nephrologists or urologists or all these specialists. So we have created a lot of doctors, in the past coming years. I myself, see, I have a small clinic also, and I've taught hundreds of students. Like, I don't do the counting; it's maybe in thousands. And for all the boards, you're all IG, IGCC, IB, SSC, CBSE, ICSE, ISC. By the way, guys, I'm the senior faculty at the KES College. You might be aware of KES, Khar Education Society. So I'm the mentor there for all their ISC section, that is the 11th, 12th ICC and the NEET section. As well as I'm taking lectures at Mithibhai College, at NL College, Bawal College. And, I am rather the biology head at so many big coaching institutes, right? I've taken lectures in Kota, I've taken lectures in South, right? Throughout Mumbai, every nook and corner. And so, guys, see what we have to do is that we have to enjoy the biology lectures. It has to be more of interactive, right? So I would definitely not like a one-way lecture, right? See, you guys, you all are from the NEET batch, right? I suppose you all are from the NEET batch, right? And just trust me, I'll tell you my personal experience. I'm a medical doctor, right? I'm a postgraduate medical doctor, okay? And I'm from Villeparle. I'm born and brought up in Villeparle. Only my medical college was there. Then I did postings in Nanavati and Cooper and all these places. So what is important is that I'm sure that now you're in the 12th and almost all the portion is done. So I don't need to explain you like about NEET or anything else. You're quite well versed with that already. It's the passion, like it's all about being a doctor is all about passion. I have lots of material, like I generally would have shown you in the 11th standard, 12th. Now you're in the ending phase, like of your 12th standard portion. And so what is important, guys? Just an advice from me. See, my students are right now in KEM, JJ, Nair, Maulana Azad, CMC Vellore, Jawaharlal Institute, Pondicherry, like so many of them. I don't know, Sabdarjan hai, AIMS hai, AIMS ke to alag places mein hai. They're in so many interiors of Maharashtra colleges, South colleges. So and so many are from Philippines and Ukraine and Russia and China and Antigua and Philippines. So many places they are studying medical, their PGs and all this stuff. So what is important is like and a NEET. Basically, if we talk about NEET, it is you're right now doing a chapter. Now, obviously, I know that you're already being taught by a certain faculty, and so I'm getting introduced midway. So I understand the shift in certain things. Yes, anyone who's raising the hand can unmute themselves and speak out. So guys, what we are going to do today is I'm going to continue with that chapter. See, my style of everyone has their own way of teaching, right? My way of teaching is that we always see my students have got amazing marks. So I don't like to speak much about myself, but consistently my students have been getting more than 325 plus consistently for the past so many years, right? My highest has been obviously 357, 358, 359, right? 350 plus have been so many students in bio, but What we have to do for that is, if you want to crack the NEET with an all India result, and probably if you're army, IND, army colleges, AFMCs or AIMS or the top colleges like, GS State Medical College, or let's say, the Grand Medical or whatever, or, CMC or whatever. So for that, you require bio is going to be scoring for you. And see, my style of teaching is a three-way. Like, we have, when we go to have food, we have the, the starters, then comes the main course, and then comes the dessert. The starters are just like the starters, they start the things. Then comes the main course, and then the dessert is the thing that is the what you wait for. So it's a three-way thing. The first, I know it's little late to tell you how you would be studying me, but I'm sure you're already doing quite well. So, the three system is that first, you guys, some of you all maybe from the ICC board till your 10th, so maybe from the IB, CBSE or the SCC, doesn't matter. But the first, you should give importance to your government exam. Why I say that? Because I'm teaching, some students, I'm even teaching of Dubai, UAE and many other places. They are from CBSE board and they are actually studying our government textbook, because they say your government textbook is given better, or the state books are given better. So, like, give importance to the state board book also, because it's being framed very nicely, information, especially in chapters like, if you have gone through neural and chemical coordination, every chapter, health and disease or whatever, it's being given very nicely. Now, so first is the state board book. We have to do that. Then the NCERT, right? And then last is the reference book. Now, NEET is like a vast question. How much exactly is to be done? Like, many students have this doubt. See, in Maharashtra, you guys, you are like NCERT, fine, NCERT is good, but all India, if you want to crack all India, you have to do more than NCERT. Just doing NCERT is definitely not enough. So what we have to do is, like, personally, I have my own favorite books, right? I have my 2-3 of my favorite books for me, right? For MCQs, I would recommend certain books for MCQ practice. I have their soft copies and all. And obviously, I've got lots of material for bio. Nevertheless, I have a lot of material of bio, be it the notes or, MCQ material. So a lot of stuff I have. So, what we have to do is today, I guess, can you just tell me, in your neural chapter that was already started by your sir, which is the part till where have you reached?
Spinal cord.
Spinal cord. So spinal cord is not started, right? Spinal cord is
So
not started.
he had done till functions. We had reached functions, and some part of it he had showed the structure, how the canal goes through the vertebral column, and that much was done. Not after that.
Okay.
I guess the last lecture was remaining.
What we can do is that we can do the spinal cord from the beginning. Okay, that would make sense,
Yes,
because
sir.
yeah. So let's continue with the spinal cord. See, first, what we'll be doing is we will do the synopsis, right? These lectures, first we will give importance to the synopsis for, like, everything we'll do. Like, in the synopsis, we'll pay attention to all the things, because synopsis is the main thing. When you know the synopsis well, then it will be easy for you to know, the MCQ part. So synopsis is the most important part, what I believe. So let us carry further. Shall we doing some screen share of books and notes, right? And certain things we can interact with each other directly. This is how it can be done in the online. Yeah, obviously offline would be the best, and soon we will start that, right? Even for my lectures also. So this I'm sharing the screen, okay? So now, about the spinal cord. First of all, I would like to show you one picture. To have the entire skeleton and all. You all know that where the spinal cord goes from. Spinal cord goes from within the neural arch, right? You all know the neural arch, and the spinal cord passes through that neural arch. So I'll just show you an image for the neural arch. We can also known as the vertebral foramen, So this is the This is the picture, right? So you can see here that to show to our students. See, I've done postmortems in all of these bodies and heart, brain. Maybe a long time back. You were probably not born also at that time. So this is the thing. Like you can see the vertebral column, and between the vertebral column, you can see there is this vertebral foramen. From that the neural arch through that the spinal cord passes. You can see this tube which we have put up to elicit the spinal cord. So that's like the spinal cord. Spinal cord is a very important structure, nevertheless, because it controls, it connects the brain to all parts of the body. That all you know. Now, spinal cord doesn't go to the ending. It ends at the level of the second lumbar vertebra. The spinal cord doesn't go. So you know that spinal cord will not go here. It won't go till till the sacrum and coccyx, right? It will end. See, this is L5. You know what is L5, right? Fifth lumbar. This is the fourth lumbar. This is the third lumbar. Spinal cord will end here at the level of L2, right? Spinal cord will end at the level of the L2. Beyond that, there will be the extension. So since sir has taught you, so may I ask you all, feel free to interact with me, guys. It's like interaction, guys. Don't worry, I'm very friendly. So beyond this, what is the continuation called as? The spinal cord ends at the L2, beyond which what is the extension known as? Anyone? So it's like this, these are some of my PPTs, like so you all know that the spinal cord is there in the CNS, right? It is there in the nervous system, and it connects obviously the brain to all the parts of the body, right? So there's a network of nerves, that is the peripheral nervous system. I guess we'll be doing that sympathetic, parasympathetic little later. We are right now in the CNS, right? We are doing the part of the CNS. So this is our, see here, guys. So nice. See, yeah, can you elicit? See, this is the spinal cord, right? And can you exactly see it's ending at the level of the L2? Can you all make out? It's ending at the level of the L2, and beyond that, it is just see that black color thing, right? And you can see these thread-like things, extension of the meninges. You all know that the spinal cord is also protected by the dura mater, the arachnoid mater, and the pia mater. Spinal cord is also having the meninges, that is the dura mater, the arachnoid mater, and then the pia mater, right? You all know that the spinal cord is also possessing this. You can see here, this is a nice sectional view of how the spinal cord is passing, and you all can see the pia mater. Obviously, the pia mater is the closest, then the arachnoid, and then the dura mater. Okay. Yeah, this is another nice diagram to show you all that how the spinal cord goes. All right. So okay. So that is what we'll focus on, is to understand about the details of the spinal cord. See, I'll be referring to all these books. So you can see here that, I have the NCERT with me. You can see here I have the government textbook with me. You can see here I have some of my notes with me, and my favorite book, which is the best for me, which I feel. Okay, for MCQs and for the synopsis, the high level synopsis. So what we have to do is that let's understand spinal cord. See, biology won't change. It won't change. So let it be from any book, it will remain the same. So you all know that the spinal, first of all, guys, I want somebody to tell me, guys, if your cameras are on, it would be fun to interact. Somebody please tell me that why is this called as matter? Why is this called dura mater, arachnoid mater, pia mater? Anyone knows? Anyone is aware that why is this thing known as like the matter? Yes, guys. Anyone? Why is this called matter? Sir. Guys, if you don't know, please tell me so that I can tell you. No, 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 no. I'll tell you, I'll tell you. Guys, pay attention. Why it is called matter? The word matter comes from, no problem, no problem. See, we all teachers, we were students first. Okay, we are not born as doctors. We have to learn a lot. And still we are learning a lot. You know, in this, we also have a CME, continued medical education, where we attend seminars and webinars as students and learn. So every day is a learning day. Matter is mother. Very good. The word matter comes from the word matter. You know, the word matter comes from the word matter, meaning mother. So dura matter, arachnoid matter, pia matter, they're like the mothers of the brain. The dura matter is a tough mother because it is fibrous protective. Arachnoid is like, you know, like a spider's web. And the pia matter is a delicate mother. So the word, you know, matter comes from the word matter. Okay, meaning the mother. All right, very good, very good. Arya, right? Very nice. So we continue further and go to the part that is the, so it obviously lies in which part? It obviously lies in the neural canal. So it lies in the neural canal, right, of the vertebral column. It also has the meninges, right? CSF is present. You all know what is CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. I remember when we used to cut the brain and our gloves would be filled with CSF. We used to call it's like kind of like cooking oil. It was like sticky, oily. So the extension, what is the length of the spinal cord? 42 to 45 centimeters long and 2 to 2.5 centimeters broad. It's obviously broadest at the anterior end and gradually tapers down as I showed you in my diagram, right? It finally tapers at the end into what? Conus medullaris. That the lower end, that, you know, at the L2 is known as what? Conus medullaris. And beyond that, it is just like a thread called phylum terminale. Beyond that, it is thread-like structure called as phylum terminale. Spinal cord has two swellings: cervical swelling in the cervical region, lumbar swelling in the lumbar region. And you know, the nerves which arise from the spinal cord, which I'm going to discuss in detail today, are the 31 pairs of the spinal nerves. Right? There are 31 pairs of the spinal nerves. And you know, guys, there are these lots of these nerves which are there. You know, these spinal nerves, they are concentrated, you know, in the region of cervical and lumbar. And these, you know, and around the conus medullaris. You know what is conus medullaris? That is at the L2, the tapering part. And these bunch of nerves which are there in the hind part, that is in the ending part of spinal cord, you know, along with the phylum terminale, they appear like a horse's tail. And this region is called as what, you know, cauda equina. So let me show you that diagram for, you know, the cauda equina. Yeah, so all of you see here in that diagram, let me give the spot. See, this is the conus medullaris. That is the conus medullaris where it is tapering, right? And you know, around the conus medullaris, can you see the spinal nerves are there? And this black thing is the phylum terminale. I hope you are very clear. The black thing is the phylum terminale. Okay, and surrounding them, still the spinal nerves are surrounding them. So doesn't this all structure, it looks like a horse's tail, right? Doesn't it look like a horse's tail? So that structure is called as cauda equina. What is it called as? Cauda equina. The word equina is what? Horse, and the word cauda is for tail. So cauda equina signifies what? Horse's tail. So it is looking like a horse's tail. Am I clear to all? Yeah. So that is why it's called as what? The cauda equina. Okay. Then, you know, basically, obviously, this TS of the spinal cord. So let me now show you the TS. Let's just focus on the diagram. Have you done the TS also, guys? Was the TS also taught to you earlier? Instead of, you know, sending message on chat, I would.
So I saw taught us, he drew the TS and he labeled it. He was giving the functions of each of the part, but sir, he was That was the end of the
Yeah,
chapter, and he said we'll do this next chapter, half of it, and then it never happened.
fine. So, anyway, guys, what I'm explaining here is that this is the diagram, and now all of you all please understand the diagram carefully. I'm going to explain in a very tactical way. So, guys, pay attention. This is the spinal cord for TS transverse section. So, when we cut the spinal cord, in a transverse way, transverse means what? Horizontal. So, when we give a cut to the spinal cord transversely, what we see is that, this is how we see the inner part is called as the gray matter, and the outer region is called as what? Is called as the white matter. The inner region is the gray matter, and the outer region is the white matter. So it has got two things, the inner gray and the outer white. The inner is the gray and the outer is the white. And there are two cuts. Now first I'm going to describe the gray matter. The gray matter has got, now all of you all guys, this is the first question that many students have. Then why is this side ventral and why is that side dorsal? Why is this side ventral like ventral horn, ventral root, and why is this dorsal horn, dorsal root, right? So the reason is very clear. The reason is very easy. Let's understand that why the ventral and why the dorsal. Now, guys, first of all, do you know ventral? What is the meaning of the words ventral and dorsal? Arya, I'm very sorry. I've been told by sir to start from the spinal cord part, right? So just if you've not been taught, please contact Ashish sir, please. Okay, neurosurgeons, Shruti has a question: is it a spinal cord that would paralyze the patient? Any injury to the spinal cord, because spinal cord is very delicate. Any slight injury to that could paralyze or could defunction some part of that nerve. Yeah, ventral is front side, dorsal is back side, right? Very good, very good. Sia has answered this, Neha has answered this. So guys, here is where I would like to teach you the basics, because see, medical mein jab aap jaoge, and I'm sure you will go. So lots of stuff. So basics are important. Fundamentals are very important. Now guys, ventral and dorsal is not front and back. I'm sorry, it's not front and back. So for that, what is ventral? Ventral means facing the ground. Facing towards the ground is ventral, and facing against, away from the ground is dorsal. Imagine that, here I'm standing on my four legs, or imagine we as mammals. So anterior would be the head would be anterior, the hip would be posterior, right? Which part of my body or your body would face the ground?
The part of a heart faces the ground.
Perfect. Yeah. So don't say the word back and front. Back and front means towards the ground is ventral and away from the ground is dorsal. So this is the ventral side, that's the dorsal side. Okay, fine. So let us understand now from this diagram. Now, why is this labeling like that? The labeling is like that because I'll give a simple example of this through this pen. Ye jo pen, imagine this is a spinal cord. Imagine that this is a spinal cord, and I have cut this spinal cord in a transverse way, and I'm showing you like this. What I'm showing you is this part. मैं आपको क्या दिखा रहा हूँ? मैं ये ऐसे दिखा रहा हूँ ना. I'm showing you like this, but actually it is like this. No, it is cylindrical. So जहाँ ये pen holder है, जहाँ ये जहाँ ये pen holder है, right? This is the front side, right, or the ventral side, right? This is the ventral side, and the opposite is the dorsal side. Okay, this is the ventral side, and this is the dorsal side. Now, what is happening is that when I'm cutting this transversely and I'm showing you like this, so this ventral side is going down. I hope everyone is seeing this. This is the ventral side. It is going down. Is it clear? Where is the ventral side going? The ventral side is going down, and that's why the opposite side, that is the dorsal one. Okay, clear to all? Okay, so that is why it is ventral and dorsal. So some basics are very important to know. Yeah, Komal, no problem. Yeah, fine. Okay, no issues, Komal. That's also a good way to remember. I understand. Even I sometimes when I'm saying something very fast, even I say ventral is front and back, so that students will understand in an easy way, right? So no harm. Okay. So guys, what I'm telling you all is that the important thing is the ventral and the dorsal side. So now let's focus on the TF now. Let's focus on the TF diagram. Guys, pay attention. So this is the dorsal. Now you understood why this is dorsal, this is ventral. So the gray matter, let's focus on the gray matter. There is a central canal. Can you all see that in the center there is a central canal? I would really love, because guys, camera is on and unmute and interact with me. Do not send anything in chat. Why waste your ATP? Just unmute and answer. So this is the central canal, right? This is what? This is a central canal, and surrounding that we have the ependyma. Surrounding that, what do we have? We have the ependyma. Okay, the ependyma secretes CSF. Who secretes CSF for the spinal cord? The ependyma. Okay, that makes the CSF. Now central canal also has the CSF. Now this is the gray matter. That's the gray matter. It has got four, horns. Now there are two dorsolateral and two ventrolateral horns. These two horns, they are called dorsolateral because they're going laterally. They're going towards the side. So they are called as dorsolateral, and these two, they are going ventrolateral. So they are dorsolateral and they are ventrolateral. The dorsal horn, just observe carefully, is continuing as the dorsal root. The dorsal horn is continuing as the dorsal root, and the ventral horn is continuing as the ventral root. Okay, the dorsal horn is continuing into the dorsal root, the ventral horn is continuing as the ventral root. Okay, now what we have to understand is that this was about the gray matter, which is H shape. Now about the white matter of the spinal cord is divided by the anterior and the posterior, anterior median fissure and the posterior median septum into funiculus. Into what? Funiculus. So there is, on this side, we will call this as a ventral funiculus. Here, this side, we will call it as a dorsal funiculus. So this will be the ventral funiculus, this will be the dorsal funiculus, and these two are the lateral funiculus. They are the lateral funicula. So this is the ventral one, this is the dorsal one, and these two are the lateral one. Okay, clear? Funiculus, this is the ventral one, that's the dorsal one, and these two are the lateral one. So, guys, this is very important. And for NEET, it's important to be smart. I have very often seen that many students are good in both, but not good in NEET. It's all about tax. It's all about understanding an MCQ. So I'll, practice some tough MCQ, some good MCQs with you all also. Now, so, what is important is that the important thing to know about the spinal cord is that I will give you some underlinings. Okay, please underline some of these important words. What matters is the word. So the H shape, the gray matter is H shape. Okay, and for for this chapter you need to know your nervous system well. I always tell the students that before this you should know your neural tissue of the 11th standard perfectly. Neural tissue आपको आना चाहिए. Neural tissue is not that easy as it seems. It's very tricky. I'll tell you how. I'll ask you some questions like so here this I told you about the funicula, right? The funiculus. Okay. So the dorsal root, is connected. Yeah. So we'll understand that the dorsal ganglia, the dorsal root has unipolar neurons. You all remember this unipolar? This was there in the 11th standard. The dorsal, root of the spinal cord has got the unipolar neurons. The dorsal root has which ganglia? Dorsal root ganglia, right? It has collection of the unipolar neurons. Do you know what is unipolar neurons? And the interneurons, what is interneurons? They lie in the gray matter. Interneurons are also called as association neurons. They are also known as the intermediate neurons. They are the ones which process the impulses, no? They are the ones which, they process all these impulses. So, guys, remember dorsal roots are sensory and ventral roots are motor. Remember like that. The dorsal roots, no? The dorsal roots, they are always sensory. They carry messages upwards, and the ventral roots are always motor. The dorsal roots are sensory and the ventral roots are always motor. So remember that. Perfect. And what we have to understand is that the white matter, you all know white matter is made up of myelin sheath and all. Gray matter is made up of the dendrites and cytons. Okay. So the ascending and the descending, right? The ascending tract are those which conduct the impulses from spinal cord to brain, and they are the ones which lie in the dorsal. And the ventral are motor, right? So ventral will be the descending tract, right? They will be the motor tract. Spinal cord, not only does the important function of it's like a messenger, as well as it controls the reflexes. Now, guys, I would like to come into picture here because we have done the medulla oblongata. You have also learned that medulla oblongata also controls the spinal, some of the reflexes. The non-vital reflexes are controlled by the medulla oblongata. Till the 10th standard, we used to probably say that all the reflexes are controlled by spinal cord. It is not like that. Vital reflexes are controlled by spinal cord, and non-vital, like coughing, vomiting, hiccup, yawning, coughing, sneezing, that's by medulla oblongata. Now, about the white matter and the gray matter, you know what is white and gray matter of the brain? You had that myelin sheath thing. Now, why neural tissue was very important, students? Because do you all know about node of Ranvier? You know about CNS, PNS, ANS, right? The neurons of the CNS, and this hardly anyone knows. Hardly anyone knows this. Whatever info I'm telling you, I'm sure if you accept it truly, you'll say that, sir, we're not aware of this. The neurons of the, now there are 4 coverings, the axon has 4 coverings. The first 3 I'll tell you, that is the first one, just close to the axon is the axolemma. After axolemma, there was a lot of confusion, which is the innermost, which is the outermost. There's a lot of confusion. Axon, the closest to the axon is the axolemma. After that, there is myelin sheath. Myelin sheath is also the medullary sheath, and myelin sheath is made by Schwann cells. Schwann cells are not part of the neuron. They are the neuroglia. They are the neuroglia of the PNS rather. And they secrete the myelin sheath or the medullary sheath. And this myelin sheath had node of Ranvier. Remember the node of Ranvier? At those points, the myelin sheath was absent. They were the node of Ranvier. And then outside was the neurolemma. Outer was the neurolemma. So guys, the PNS neuron is an ideal neuron because the neuron of PNS, the peripheral nervous system, had all these things. It had the axolemma, it had the myelin sheath with the node of Ranvier, and then it had the neurolemma. The ANS neuron, obviously you know that neurons of ANS, autonomic nervous system, are non-myelinated. But they have axolemma, they have the axolemma, they don't have myelin sheath. So myelin sheath is not there, so obviously node of Ranvier won't be there. And they have the outermost, that is the neurolemma, that was there. Now, the CNS neuron is where the fun is. The neurons of CNS, you also know that there is an MCQ in AIIMS mein pucha tha, mujhe yaad hai, that why the neurons cannot regenerate. I know that one such answer is that they go permanently in the zero phase. G0 phase quiescent stage, that is there. But what is most important, and tell me you all who knew this, the CNS neurons, they have the axolemma. The CNS neurons, they have axolemma. They have myelin sheath. They have myelin sheath, but without node of Ranvier. The myelin sheaths are continuous. Their myelin sheaths are continuous. No node of Ranvier is present. And so this is something new. And neurolemma is absent. They do not have neurolemma. That is for the neurons of the CNS. So see, there are variations here. There are some variations here. Okay. So now with this, Komal, very good. So what we have to understand in the spinal cord, that is, this was the TS, the details of the spinal cord, and I will rather show you the Shruti is asking that so they are slower than the normal neurons. Not necessary. No. In fact, they are more fast. Because node of Ranvier is not there. Node of Ranvier is not there, so there is no jumping required. Like direct, they are directly continuous. So no node of Ranvier. So it is in fact more advantage. Right? Basically there is more advantages. Yeah. So now what we will do, So the spinal cord, the NCERT has just the same thing, nothing much actually. Before I go to the PNS, I would not go to the PNS. First, I will show you, because we have done the TS of spinal cord now, students. Same relating to this diagram from the PNS, we will also talk about how a spinal nerve is formed, and also that why all spinal nerves, they are of the mixed type. Probably you know that spinal nerves, all spinal nerves are mixed. So we are going to do the question of how a spinal nerve is formed. How a spinal nerve is formed and why all of them, they are of the mixed type. It's very easy. Why all of them, they are of the mixed type? Because I'm sharing the screen. Yeah, it's quite complicated, I'll tell you, Shruti. So here, just understand that is how it is. So guys, pay attention. That's the dorsal root and that's the ventral root. The dorsal root and the ventral root. So this dorsal root and the ventral root, they both unite. You can see that, and bilaterally, obviously on that side also. So here the dorsal root is uniting with the ventral root to form a spinal nerve. So dorsal root unites with the ventral root to form a spinal nerve. Dorsal roots, as I said, they are always sensory. Ventral roots are always motor. That makes the spinal nerve always mixed type. So it's as easy as that. So this is always sensory. That is always motor. So that makes it the mixed type. So always all spinal nerves are of the mixed type, and each spinal nerve, after it is formed, it has got 3 branches. Every spinal nerve has got 3 branches. What are the 3 branches? They are ramus dorsalis, ramus ventralis, and the ramus communicans. So the 3 branches, they are as follows: ramus dorsalis, ramus ventralis, and ramus communicans. These are the branches. Now, pay attention. The ramus dorsalis supplies to the dorsal side, the skin and muscles of the dorsal side. Ramus dorsalis, dorsalis is supplying to the skin and muscles of the dorsal side. The ramus ventralis is supplying the skin and muscles of the ventral as well as the lateral side. And the ramus communicans is joining with the sympathetic ganglion. Sympathetic ganglion is present in the ANS, autonomic nervous system, as the 22 pairs of sympathetic ganglia. You all know what is a ganglia, guys? Ganglia are the collection of the, cytons, right? Groups of cytons. So ramus dorsalis is the shortest branch. You know why it is the shortest? Why is ramus dorsalis is the shortest? It's as simple as that. That see, the spinal nerve is behind, the spinal nerve is at the back, and ramus dorsalis has to supply the skin and muscles of the dorsal side. So they have to supply the skin and the muscles of the dorsal side, so they don't have to travel much, right? They are working from home, work from home, because they are dorsal and they also have to supply to the dorsal side. So they are the shortest branches. The ramus ventral is like, it starts from the dorsal end and it comes to the ventral side. So midway it supplies the lateral side also, while when it is coming from back to front, it supplies the lateral side also. So ramus ventral supplies the skin and muscles of the dorsal as well as the ventral as well as the lateral side. And the ramus communicans communicates with the sympathetic ganglion of the ANS, that is the autonomic nervous system. Okay, then going further, I have some more notes. So see, so these are the branches. So what I shared with you all right now is the formation of a spinal nerve, how a spinal nerve is formed. In that only, you also understood that why all the spinal nerves, why they are always of the mixed type. That also we learned.
Close at 9, close for 24 hours.
Somebody is on unmute, I guess. Right, and later on we also learned that, yes, later on we also learned about the important part, that is the understanding of Yeah, see this. Some more notes I have. I'm sharing these notes to you. Yeah, so that's about the spinal cord, right? So I told you about see, this is that's it. Can you all see that the spinal cord has got the extensions, the anterior end? See, this is the pons, the medulla. Medulla oblongata is also known as the spinal bulb. Why it is called spinal bulb? Because from there the spinal cord begins, right? The cervical swelling and the lumbar swelling. There are two swellings, cervical and lumbar. It ends in the L2. You can all see the conus medullaris clearly. You can also see the phylum terminate. And beyond that, the thread-like structures are there of spinal nerve. So together, yeah, see, so clear this image. Can you all see? This is the cauda equina. You can see the conus medullaris. You can see the dura arachnoid and pia, and you can see the cauda equina. It looks like a horse's tail, right? Looks like a horse's tail around the phylum terminal. The central canal. This is the actual TS, right? The actual TS. The transverse section. You can see the H shape. You can see exactly this dorsal and ventral root. The central canal with the nice white matter. So, yeah. The gray matter has got the interneurons, the association neurons, right? Okay. Yeah, this is another way to show how these they join, how these neurons come. So the dorsal roots are always, sensory. The ventral funiculi, the lateral funiculi, and the dorsal funiculi. Right? The ventral dorsal funiculi, and this is how the these roots are there, right? Dorsal horn, lateral horn, and the ventral horn. This is the lateral horn, okay? This is the dorsal horn, this is the ventral horn, this is the lateral horn. So that's how the spinal nerve is formed, right? Yeah, so it is obvious that the impulses from the brain, first you can see that the neuromuscular junction, no? So here, are you seeing? So that's the sensory, and then the ventral gives the motor, right? So sensation, the sensory, then association, and then motor, right? So the motor is supplying the muscle. So this is again one diagram for the spinal cord. The cranial nerves are fantastic. I'll tell you about the cranial nerves. I'll tell you a technique to remember them for all the cranial nerves. Yeah. Now the spinal nerves. Spinal cord has got the spinal nerves. So how many spinal nerves are there, guys? You all know the spinal nerves are the same number as your vertebrae. There are how many cervical vertebrae are there? How many cervical vertebrae are there, guys?
So
4, no.
7.
7, very good. 7 cervical vertebrae, but spinal nerves are 8 pairs, okay? For cervical, so there is a formula, I'll tell you the formula. C8, so 8 cervical vertebrae, cervical nerves and pairs, so 8 pairs, why? Because bilateral, no, right and left side. So 8 pairs of cervical nerves, thoracic vertebrae are 12, and even the nerves are 12. So 12 pairs of the thoracic nerves, 5 lumbar vertebrae and 5. So that is also matching. So 5 sacral, actually sacral vertebrae were 5 only. Do you know that? But they joined to form the sacrum. But sacral vertebrae were 5. So here 5 sacral nerves and coccygeal were 4. Coccygeal bones were 4, but they joined to form coccyx, which is vestigial. So for that only 1 pair. So the spinal nerves are 31 pairs. Let me tell you what are the spinal nerves. The spinal nerves are the nerves which originate from the spinal cord, right? And there are 31 pairs. All are mixed. Why they are mixed? I have told you. How a spinal nerve is formed by joining of one dorsal and ventral root. That also I showed you. I have also showed you the branches of each spinal nerve. Ramus dorsalis, ramus ventralis, and ramus communicans. Right? And also we have now this is the 8, 12, 5, 5, 1. What is it? 8, 12, 5, 5, 1. So 8 for the cervical, 12 for thoracic, 5 for lumbar, 5 for sacral, and 1 for coccygeal. So that is 31. That is how much? That is the 31.
So,
Yes.
so can you please rotate your phone? So like that a whole
Rotate.
slide will come on one page.
Acha, you're seeing, you're rotating. Okay, I'm not used to you seeing like this.
Yes, sir, like that whole slide will come on one page.
Okay, maybe, but okay,
So
depends
you,
for that. Yeah. Okay, so the problem is to crop it again and again. Okay. So the ramus dorsalis, see the ramus dorsalis, ramus ventralis, and the ramus communicans, right? So here you can see that, right? You can see this is the dorsal root. See, receives the sensory neuron. The dorsal root receives the sensory neuron, right? Then they integrate and then they go to the motor. So ramus dorsalis is supplying the dorsal side. Ventralis is the largest. It is supplying the lateral as well as the, yeah, this is the spinal nerve, no? That is the spinal nerve. That's the spinal nerve. This is the dorsal and the ventral root. So dorsal root ganglia, they have the sensory one. See the sensory and the motor, and they join to form the mix. That is the spinal nerve. So ramus dorsalis, these are the branches, guys. These are the branches. This is the ramus dorsalis, this is the ventralis, and somewhere here we will have the ramus communicans, which will communicate with the ANS. So receive sensory, that is the dorsal root, and ventral is for the motor. Okay, anyway, so what was the thing, I wanted to explain was that the TS of the spinal cord, yeah, good suggestion actually, never tried that. So this TS, right? So we have done with the spinal cord for the spinal cord introduction, the spinal cord TS. We have done with the nerves, like how many spinal nerves are there, why are they mixed, the formation of a spinal nerve, and also the branches of the spinal nerve. Now in the PNS, for the PNS or the peripheral nervous system is what which starts from the center and goes to the periphery. That is the PNS. So there are two types of nerves, the cranial nerves and the spinal nerves. How we can distinguish is very easy. The cranial nerves are 12 pairs, the spinal nerves are 31 pairs. How many cranial nerves are there? 12 pairs. And how many spinal nerves are there? 31 pairs. The cranial nerves are when it comes to cranial nerves, they are sensory, motor, and mixed separately. Some are only sensory, and some are only motor, and some are only mixed. So they are like separately, like sensory, motor, and mixed. So some are only sensory, some are only motor, some are only mixed, and spinal are always mixed. So these are the 2-3 points we can give to distinguish between the cranial and spinal. 12 pairs, 31 pairs, mixed sensory and all that, and the cranial starts from brain and the spinal starts from the spinal cord. Now, like how to remember all these 12 pairs? They are very important for MCQs, very important for boards as well as NEET ka part. right? For NEET also, they are very, very important. They can easily ask you, like, name the fifth one, name the seventh one, name the ninth one, name the 12th one. And, they may also ask you who all are sensory, who all are motor, who all are mixed. So, see, I've been teaching this for the past so many years. So, but I will also train you, how you can actually remember them. Okay, I'll keep it vertical. Chalega, your wish, no problem. Okay, so guys, let me train you all how to remember these 12 pairs of the cranial nerves, and whether guys, now let's do an activity. I want that you should be so perfect that you all should also be able to do it yourself. That what you can do is that all of you look at the table, and I want you to look at what part. I want you all to look at this part, and I'm going to let me give the vivas. I will give the vivas. Like, I want you to look at these types, only the types. Like, which is the type C, the sensory. When you come to the fifth one, neglect this blue stuff. Neglect this blue one. Okay, look at this 1, 2, 3. When you come here, after mix, you go to the next one. Because these three are the parts. They are the parts of it. Okay. So now I want you to look at this table vertically. And you should also be able to see, I'm sure it can be easily done like this, like this. Sensory, like, let's go fast first. Sensory, motor, mix, sensory, mix, motor. That way. Or let's slow. Sensory, motor, mix, sensory, mix, motor. Did you all see? Sensory, motor, mix, sensory, mix, motor. All right. So that is for the types, whether who are sensory, who are motor, who are mixed. That is for the types. Now, what I'll explain to you here is that you will say, sir, this is very easy. Yeah, you will say, sir, it's what easy is for a teacher. I give it to you. It's actually easy, right? But what is not is this the names of the cranial nerves. You got to remember the names of cranial nerves in the same order. So what is that order? Like this: olfactory, optic, oculomotor, pathetic, right? Olfactory, optic, oculomotor, pathetic, trigeminal, abducens, facial, auditory, glossopharyngeal, right? Vagus, spinal accessory, hypoglossal. This is what you should remember, because that could be asked for the MCQ, right? And as you are aware, already you might have done the paper cut discussion with your faculties of NEET. Like, this year was a complete surprise. We never expected like neural and all to get, how many MCQs were there from neural? I think 1 or 2 only, one I guess. Proper neural class. So this time the MCQs were totally messed up. Like, they did not go like weightage. Main chapters they did not go give any weightage. So don't expect that trend will follow in the next year also. Next year it won't be like that. So this is how you should go fast. I want you to do it in 5 seconds. Can you all try that? Olfactory, optic, oculomotor, pathetic, trigeminal, abducens, facial, auditory, glossopharyngeal, vagus, spinal, hypoglossal. I'll go once again. Olfactory, optic, oculomotor, pathetic, trigeminal, abducens, facial, auditory, glossopharyngeal, vagus, spinal, hypoglossal. That way you should be able to speak fast. Okay, you can easily do it. So how to remember? You'll ask me, sir, कैसे याद रखेंगे इसको इतना fast? How to remember them? So you have to remember, like, I'll give you a line that you can remember, like sort of like mnemonic. What we say is these are the mnemonics. It is very okay. I'll try. On occasion of, Lord, let me give you in the chat. That is more easy to type. See, on occasion of party time, all pairs fair men, on occasion of party time, all fair men are girls, girl visitors in hello. Okay. So why I need you to remember this? Because now you look at every letter. On occasion of party time, all fair men are girl visitors saying hello. So here is O, olfactory, optic, oculomotor, pathetic, trigeminal, abducens, spatial, auditory, glossopharyngeal, vagus, spinal activity, and hypoglossal. Did you get that logic, guys? Yes. Did you understand? Yeah, cool. Okay. So let's continue further. So now we'll go to the table and we'll understand that what signifies what. What is the significance of each of them? So let's understand the table. Then I'll tell you a few more stuff. Like, see, you don't have to buy heart. First of all, don't have to buy heart. Now I've told you what is the tax. So if they ask you MCQs like first, 10, 9, and all, you can just write on a piece of paper or memorize, and you'll be easily able to answer. Okay. So the olfactory, do you know, guys, that anywhere you have the word olfactory has to do is obviously sensory. So origin is what? Origin is going to be the, the bulb, the olfactory bulb, the rhinencephalon, the rhino's nose, rhinencephalon, and the organ it is going to supply is the nose epithelium. Now, guys, I'll give you some neat wala high level synopsis. Do you know what is the olfactory epithelium of nose also called as? Let's see who will answer. High-end synopsis. It is also known as Schneiderian membrane. Olfactory epithelium is also known as the Schneiderian membrane. Okay, it's also known as what? The Schneiderian membrane. Fine. Now, so that's about it. That is about the olfactory. So the olfactory is about smell, right? Optic is obviously, it will start from the diencephalon and it will go to the retina. Obviously, optic है, vision है, so vision has to be the retina, right? So for vision, oculomotor is obviously motor. It will start from, nobody will ask you these origins, huh, guys? Nobody will ask you the origins. For me, nobody will ask you. Basically, they only ask in MCQs like what is the type, sensory, what is the number and all, and maybe they might ask the function. That's it. So जो optic है ना, optic is obviously हो गया, oculomotor supplies to the eye muscles. You know what is this eye muscles called as? The rectus muscles. Anyone was aware of this? The eye muscles are rectus muscles. Superior rectus, lateral rectus, inferior rectus. The rectus, RECTUS, rectal muscles of the eye. Right, 4 to 6 muscles, and therefore movement of the eyeballs, like inward eyeballs. Then the pathetic जो है ना, जो pathetic है, इसका और एक नाम है. Pathetic का, there is one more name. It is also called as trochlear. So guys, pathetic is also known as what? Trochlear. Okay, what is the pathetic also called as? Trochlear. Then the next one is the trigeminal. Now trigeminal is the dentist nerve. What is the trigeminal nerve? The dentist nerve, right? You all are scared to go to dentist, aren't you? Teeth, root canals, and I am still scared. Imagine, I'm still scared. I have all my friends who are dentists, and nobody takes any penny or any money from me. Still, I don't go. But I mean, okay. So then the ophthalmic, the maxillary, and the mandibular. The ophthalmic one. They are overall this nerve is mixed. Overall, the trigeminal is mixed. It starts from pons varolii. I hope you know the meaning of the word pons is like a bridge. So the ophthalmic one is definitely sensory, and it supplies to so many parts like nose, eyes mainly, forehead, scalp, conjunctiva, lacrimal glands, tear glands. Okay. The maxillary is sensory. It supplies the nose again, palatine bone, palate bone, upper teeth, upper lip, lower eyelids, pharynx, and the mandibular, that is the mixed one. The mandibular is the mixed one. That is the largest. From all these three, which is the largest is the mandibular. It supplies the jaws, lower teeth, mandible, cheek, side of the head, in front of the, ears, muscles of mastication, muscles of chewing, right? And they are for the sensation of skin, touch, taste, jaw movements, and so on. The abducens, there are many nerves for eyes, if you see. Abducens is also motor, it's for movement of the eyes. It also supplies the lateral rectus muscle for the movement of eyes. Facial nerve is very important. It is a mixed nerve, starts from pons. It also has the geniculate ganglion. Now, geniculate ganglion is a very important ganglia. Pons has a part called geniculate. I teach you the pons structure. Geniculate ganglia, it's a very important ganglia. And this nerve, supplies the face, scalp, neck, lacrimal, sublingual glands, salivary glands, nasal, palatine glands. They are mainly for face, like, face expressions, secretion of taste, secretion of tears, taste, saliva. Auditory. Auditory is also called vestibulocochlear because it supplies the vestibule and cochlea, right? And it is sensory, starts from pons, goes to the inner ear, hearing and equilibrium. There is the ear fluid. If the ear fluid becomes imbalanced, we'll teach you in the ear, then the person can get, vertigo. Have you heard about vertigo? Pura room chakkar ghumta hai, that's like a balance goes, equilibrium. Glossopharyngeal, wherever you have the word gloss, remember it's to do with either lips and tongue. So glossopharyngeal, like, itis, glossitis, inflammation of, tongue. So mixed hair starts from medulla, goes to pharynx, tongue, salivary glands for salivation, swallowing, as well as taste. Vagus. Vagus is also known as pneumogastric. And what's important to know is the vagus, it starts from medulla, supplies the larynx, trachea, pharynx, alimentary canal, right? Lungs, pancreas, blood vessels, and it is for everything. It's for all organs of sensation and movements like, breathing and cardiac, functions, gastric and pancreatic secretions, gastrointestinal movements, basically everything like when we feel hungry, thirsty, that's the vagus, pneumogastric. Spinal accessory, it is motor, right? From the sides of the medulla. It supplies the neck and shoulder muscles, reflexes of thoracic and abdominal viscera. Viscera means the parts, organs. Larynx, pharynx. It's for movements of neck, back, shoulder, larynx, pharynx. Hypoglossal is motor from sides of medulla. And it supplies the tongue muscle. It's for talking. दिन भर जो हम बातें करते हैं, so talking nerve is the hypoglossal. And the taste nerve is the glossopharyngeal. So from this, what can we conclude? We can, this is again very important, that you all know about amniotes and anemniotes. So the amniotes are the reptiles, birds and mammals. We have got 12 pairs, right? 12 pairs. And the sensory nerves are 1, 2, and 8. The motor are 3, 4, 6, 11, 12, and the mixed are 5, 7, 9, and 10. Okay, this I've already told you. The cervical, right? C1 to C8. So our cervical nerves का formula is like this: C8, C12, L5, S5, and CO1. This is our formula for the cervical nerve formula. Vertebral formula will be little different. Vertebral formula क्या होगा? C7, बाकी सब same होगा. C7, C12, L5, S5, and CO will be 4. Right? CO will be 4. Yeah. Now, guys, which one is the tallest and largest? Now I'll go to my favorite book. This volume and volume 2 milake, it's like, guys, 2,200 pages. And but most of my students are all in medical colleges who actually dared to do it. Not everything, whatever I told, whatever you suggested. Yeah, so here, what we have to understand. Yeah, see, amniotes and anamniotes. Those who don't have amniotic cavity, amniotic sac, the anamniotes, that is fish and amphibians, they have 10 pairs of cranial nerves. So anamniotes में कितने cranial nerves? They are 10 pairs. In amniotes, we have the 12 pairs. That is an important MCQ. The smallest, now let's talk on that, very important. The smallest cranial nerve is trochlear. Which is trochlear, guys? What's the other name for trochlear? Let's see who will answer first.
Pathetic.
Very good, very good. Pathetic, perfect. So the pathetic or the trochlear is the smallest for us, right? But in other animals, the smallest is abducens. See how is the variation. They can easily trick you, right? Right? The pathetic is the smallest, or the trochlear is the smallest in humans, but for other animals, it is the abducens is the smallest. Similarly, the largest in humans is trigeminal, but vagus is the largest in other animals. Largest for humans is trigeminal, but for other animals, it is the vagus. This is there for the other animals. That is the vagus. In our body though, guys, vagus is the longest. Vagus is the longest. It's not the largest, but it is the longest. And vagus has got how many branches? Just for the record, vagus has got mainly, these 5 branches. That is superior laryngeal, recurrent laryngeal, cardiac nerve, pneumogastric. That's why it's called pneumogastric mainly, and depressor nerve. So there were 5 branches. Okay, vagus has got 5 of its branches. The spinal formula I had already told you. That would be the spinal formula, and yeah, then comes the part of the PNS. So guys, there are lots of amazing things in bio. I don't know whether you're aware or not. Yes, very good. Himanshu, Komal, Preksha, Suti, perfect. So from you all want to do MBBS? All are focused MBBS students, or anybody else also? There are lots of other options also, right? That could be done. So anyone is having any doubt, please ask me. MBBS also MBBS. Great, very good. Pharmacy is also good, right? Biotech is very good. Physio is very good. Physiotherapy is very good. Research is awesome. Veterinary is booming. Biotech, veterinary, Obviously, see, MBBS is a clean thing. You cannot compare MBBS. There are these doctors, MBBS doctors become legends. Some of them are actually legends. And we always see surgeons, right? So everyone has their own liking. Anesthetist is also awesome. Anesthesia expert, anesthetist, MD anesthesia. Anesthetist after MBBS, that's all after. Long road, long way to go, guys. I mean, I wouldn't, think of such a long road still. First, small steps, take baby steps, right? Baby steps. So, very good. Physiotherapy. So you want to go AFMC? That's through NEET as of now. I have my 3 students. They are captains in the Indian Army. And they are obviously captain. They are doctors from AFMC, Armed Forces Medical College from Pune, and they are now captains serving in the Indian Army. So I'm very proud. One of them is posted right now in G&K and, so one of them is actually retired. Can you imagine? One is retired already. Okay. So anyway, yeah. I mean, I am not DR, so that makes me proud. Okay. So, yeah, I know. True. Yeah. Keeping camera on, yeah, I'll tell them to inform them to keep camera on. Because see, guys, you know, I feel like I'm teaching myself. Nobody is there in front of me. I'm just looking at myself like a selfie mode camera, and I'm teaching myself, and I know everything, right? So, always in all my other lectures, I'm teaching, like, we have a lot of fun because we interact. It shouldn't be a lecture. It shouldn't be a lecture. It would be boring to you also, to me also. I take like 10 lectures a day, guys, 10 lectures a day. So it should be interactive. We should interact because, those students who are there with me, I've seen them growing from 8th standard. I've taught them 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and medical because I'm teaching medical students also, mentoring medical students for medical subjects and guidance for career admissions, everything. It's a long road. So what we have to focus is I know the bandwidth part, but chalo na, doctor banna hai yaar. You want to be doctor, like, take a good pack and all. Good, forget about money. Invest in good books. I will openly say that obviously classes material. We have a good, very awesome classes material. Refer to that. Refer to for MCQs. You all are already aware that there are some good books for MCQs. Practice a lot of MCQs. I find Dr. Ali is a very good challenging book for MCQs, right? Obviously MTG वो तो सब है, but Dr. Ali's MCQs are very good. And personally, I'll be very frank. For me, synopsis. No, there are some books which are very some MCQs are tricky. Yeah, and Truman's is good. But I am a fan of USS, Universal Self Scorer, RLS Biology. I'm a fan of that book because huge synopsis and above NCERT. I told you, 3 levels: board, NCERT, and then the NEET level. Because that is, yeah. But they don't have MCQ. They are mainly MCQ based. No, they have MCQ based. USS has huge synopsis. I mean, there is no book which can be compared to USS for synopsis, right? RLS, awesome book, but you shouldn't do everything. RLS is USS, but you shouldn't do everything. That is huge. You should know what to do, and only that you should do. If you start doing everything, you will get confused, and then you will get frustrated and say, "Oh my God, is that?" ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. Because see, obviously most of the MCQs are NCERT based. I know that, but if you want to be the top, you have to do. There are some MCQs which are always out of the NCERT, and there are some which will always be tricky. Obviously, from every year to year, they change all these things. So, but so why take a chance? No, why take a chance? Why take a chance? I would never recommend to give repeat, because when you repeat and repeat and repeat, there's no fun in that. So do like your first chance is the last chance. Like especially you want to be doctors and surgeons, there's only one chance, right? Operation karna hai to ek hi chance hai na. You can't say patient ko I failed and baad mein office aao, I'll do your operation nicely. It's not going to work. Okay. So anyway, lots of questions students are asking. Yeah, and no, you should do synopsis also from RLS, but that is where I will come. No, so when I teach any chapter, I give the marking. I give the markings, from RLS, what to do, jo utna hi focus karna. Okay. MCQ, I recommend, what more you want. If you are if you are studying synopsis in detail, you are doing USS MCQs. USS has got 500 MCQs per chapter average. 500. Dr. Ali USS milke, I mean, what more you want? Hardly 1, 2, 3 MCQs come from each chapter. Let's face it. Neural में से कितना MCQs आया this time? 1 or 2, and you have 500 MCQs here in one book. So I mean, that's why they give. That's why they give on the that's why they give on the book only it is written. No, all MCQs for all exams have come as it is from our book, because from every unit you have 500 MCQs, so obviously उसमें से आने वाला है. कुछ और बचता ही नहीं है. Nothing more is left to be done. Okay. So anyway, we go further, right? and understand this in detail. Truman's is also good. There are many in the market, but it all depends upon everyone. Okay, so let us continue further. I just told now. You want me to type in this side. Because see, your main vote bank is going to be bio. You have to score in bio if you want to crack it. I mean, that everyone knows, but keep a target of, because see, first physiotherapy admissions, first MBBS admissions get full. There are around 86,000 MBBS seats, 86,000 MBBS seats, and we are expecting like 17 lakh students to give, NEET next year. So yeah, there's a fierce competition, and also good colleges one should get. There are so many colleges in interiors there, I would not recommend. So I'll tell you all these things later. So as of now, we'll go to the next part. That's what happens. See, I'm interacting with you so much, even though your cameras are not on. Imagine when your cameras are on, we'll interact even more. Welcome, Shruti. So in the ANS, that is the autonomic nervous system, right? That is the ANS. See, ANS is a part of PNS. Actually, ANS is a part of PNS, right? Somatic, and so जो ANS है, autonomic nervous system है. अच्छा, before that, there is the reflex action, one of my favorite parts. I really like reflex action because reflex action is a very amazing part. What is a reflex action? Now, reflexes. When you say the word reflexes, you all have heard about, reflexes, right? Any action which we do very fast. So guys, pay attention. Who was the first one who observed the reflex action? Now, the scientist is Marshall Hall. Marshall Hall first observed reflexes. And who defined reflex actions? Reflex actions were defined by two scientists, Best and Taylor. Best and Taylor, they defined the reflexes. So what is a reflex action? It is any quick, automatic, involuntary, and unconscious action. See, quick, see what are the adjectives? Quick, automatic, involuntary. So quick, automatic, involuntary, and often unconscious. Often unconscious, because when we are doing, we don't even come to know. So quick, automatic, involuntary, and often unconscious action, which is brought about when the receptors are stimulated, by external or internal stimuli. So there is any quick, automatic, action, involuntary, just like that. It's like just like that it happens when the receptors are stimulated by, external or the internal stimuli. So it is called as a reflex action. Reflexes are very important. They have got survival value. So actions are of three types, guys. Don't get confused. Voluntary actions, involuntary actions, and reflex actions. I know reflex are also involuntary, but involuntary actions, two types are normal involuntary, like heartbeat, blood pressure, pulse rate, breathing. They are involuntary, but they are not reflex. They are controlled by medulla. And these reflexes, they are very important. They have survival value. For animals, for lower animals, reflexes are more important for life survival. Reflexes help in adaptation to the environment, to the surroundings. So, for reflex action, you should know that there is a reflex arc. Everything happens by a reflex arc. Now, imagine that, I'll just demonstrate to you a reflex arc. Don't need to buy it also. It's easy. You can just demonstrate it. So if I have like, a cup of tea, if I have a cup of tea here, and this cup of tea is very hot. Okay, this cup of tea is very hot. And unknowingly, I just and to be very frank, I won't lie. It just happened with me around 10 minutes back. 10 minutes back, I actually demonstrated this cup of tea was very hot, and I was teaching you, and in that my thoughts, I actually touched it, and I unknowingly underwent a reflex. So reflexes are like that. So when you touch something, so reflex arc follows the same route. There is a same route for the reflex arc. First is what stimulus. You know what is the stimulus? Any change in the surrounding, environment, externally or internally, any change is a stimulus, right? It's like an action. There are words like impulses. What is impulse? You know that. Messages, information. So first is what stimulus. So when a stimulus happens, when we touch something, who's going to receive that? The receptors. Receptors are the sensory organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. They are going to be the receptors. So receptors will receive. Who will receive? The receptors will receive everything and then generate an impulse. And that is what you have done in the neural, did you? Action potential. In the 11th standard, we had that how the impulses travel saltatory conduction from one neuron to the other. But right now, I think you have done that part, no? That sodium potassium pump, right? Yeah, very good. Yeah, you're right. You did the sodium potassium pump, wala? That was very complicated. It's very complicated. That how these, polarize, depolarize, repolarize. You need to know that well. Okay. So resting potential and all that stuff. Okay. So what happens now is that that the once you get the stimulus, the receptor receives, and here the action potential is generated, the neurons fire, they get activated, and then the impulses travel, so they travel from your the sensory neurons or the afferent neurons, right? Where do they go? They go to the right where to the spinal cord. Spinal cord ka dorsal root, dorsal roots are sensory, and then there the association are there in the gray matter. They connect to the motor, and then the ventral, ventral roots, the motor neurons or the motor impulses, right? Where do they carry the order? They carry it to the effectors, and the effectors generate the response. Effectors are of two types: muscles and glands. Muscles and glands. So reflex actions are like, they can happen like, yeah, IPL, come on, like Mumbai ka match hai, IPL. So when we have like, fast ball, bouncer, really duck, like very good, that's a reflex action. Imagine right now, if just imagine that you are having something yummy, your favorite food. What's your favorite food? Like what, chicken tandoori or what, like butter chicken or veg mein kuch, right? So when you're having something very yummy, what is going to happen? When you even think of that, when you smell that, mouth will start salivating. So that is salivary gland. Okay, so that is what is the Golgappa. So chalo theek hai. Now same happening with you. So then what is going to happen is this is the reflex action. So it follows the same reflex arc. The reflex arc will not change. It will remain the same. Yeah, innate. Yeah, I'll come to the types. I'll come to the types. We are right now just discussing the reflex actions in general. There are lots of types we will discuss. So let me share my notes now for the reflex arc. Yeah. So that's what it is. So these reflexes, they are very important. The reflex arc. And then there are types of reflexes. The types of reflexes are also there. Maybe innate and acquired. Some reflexes we have since birth. So the reflexes that are present in our body since birth, they are called as the innate. And then there are some reflexes which we get after birth. So this after birth wala is called as what? It is called as the acquired. So there are the innate reflexes as well as there are some acquired, right? So So I'll share the notes for the reflex section. So there are lots of things, right? So innate reflexes. See, innate means what, which is present since birth. Acquired means what, which we get acquired afterwards. Innate reflexes are always, they are permanent reflexes. Innate reflexes are always permanent. But the no. But the innate is always innate. Innate means what, like sneezing, coughing, yawning, vomiting. They are all innate, right? So they are innate or they are natural. They are innate or natural, and they are permanent. They will never change. They are innate, they are natural, and they are permanent. They will never ever change. Okay, like sneezing, coughing, yawning. Do we need to remember them? So these innate reflexes are by birth. Do we need to learn them? Do we need to remember them? Right? ऐसा हुआ है कि I have not like sneezed from past 2 months and I forgot and I'm asking somebody how to sneeze. So it never happens like that. So we don't learn them. Parents teach us how to sneeze and cough and yawn and hiccup and all. It came just like that. So we don't need to learn. There is no previous exposure. We will never forget them. Neither we need to practice. They are not judged by quality. Do we need to practice all this to make it perfect? No. But the acquired reflexes, on the other hand, they are temporary reflexes. They are acquired after birth. So they have to be learned. They have to be practiced. They have to be polished. And yes, like, driving a car, driving a bike, dancing, like suppose you're doing salsa or, whatever, you're learning a dance, you don't practice it, right? So you will forget it, right? You may forget, or you may at least, your quality will reduce. So there is practice involved. You need to practice. You can forget, right? So here they are conditional. The condition is what you have to learn them. Yeah, it doesn't come naturally. You have to learn them. So that's why they are called conditional reflexes. So like that, there are like unconditional and conditional. Unconditional are permanent, don't need to practice and learn, they're always there. And conditional are the ones which have a condition to learn and practice, and always we can forget them also. So conditional reflexes are all these arts that drawing, painting, sports, like even driving a car or playing cricket, is all these are conditional reflexes. Mother's love is unconditional. Just like mother's love is unconditional, like chota bacha, chotu bachus, when they're small, you give your palm to them, you just put your finger in their palm, they will catch it. They don't need to be taught how to suckle the mother's, milk. They don't need to be taught that, even with their eyes closed. So that is an inborn reflex, right? So some inborn reflexes are very important, and then the acquired reflex on the other end. So guys, we'll continue with this chapter. This chapter is there. There are lots of things to teach. Any question, anything you want to ask me? You've been a good batch. Still, I'm like, I would love that you all keep your cameras on from the next lecture. If possible, you can do that voluntarily rather than somebody imposing. I don't want that imposition. It should be voluntary. Okay. So I hope everyone understood. No homework I'm giving. Just read and revise whatever we taught. So I need to do that. I need to do the stopping of recording. Yeah, sure. I'll do that. Yeah. Everyone understood everything? Did you all understand everything? We'll get used to, slowly. I know, but I always connect very fast. So everyone understood everything? Yeah. Yes. So I really like to teach you all, and hopefully we can continue for, the time that is left for us. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. I'm stopping the recording, and thank you. Take care, and I'll see you on Thursday. I've kept one more lecture on Thursday. So Thursday, I'll meet with you all. Okay. Yeah. So guys, thank you so much. I'll stop the recording.